and welcome back to another episode of the White Sox March to October. And we're starting today off just under 20 games from the end of the regular season. So that's the plan today, is finish the regular season. Obviously, our division is locked up. We've actually already clinched it, but no other team was even competitive. No over 500 records, at least for right now. But we're still trying to lock up the #1 seed in the league. We've got a pretty good lead over the Jays for that at this point. And we've still got 5 games up on the Rangers. So they're really the only threat to that 1 seed, at least that's how I'm feeling. And even them, we have a pretty big lead over. If we finish even somewhat strong, we should be locking up that #1 seed in the AL today. But real quick before we do start, there's a couple of things that I just wanted to say real quick about me and my live streaming on the channel. The first thing is that I'm planning on finally starting the postseason on the Cubs March to October later today. So I should be starting that stream somewhere between 4 and 4:30 Central. I'm not exactly sure when yet, but by the time this video goes up, I probably will know and it'll probably be scheduled. But I kind of just want to talk about this here because I know that the White Sox March to October is where the most probably regular viewers watch. But it's been, what, like 3 months now since I finally started streaming on the channel, and it hasn't quite gone as I expected it to. I kind of, in my head, envisioned myself attempting at least to stream almost every day, and with how I'm going so far, I've been lucky to stream almost every week, and I've kind of fallen into old patterns. I know most of you weren't here back when I had like 20 subscribers on the channel, but that's just kind of how I used to be. Is I would sit here, I would come up with ideas, and I'd be like, oh, I want to make this, I want to make this, I want to make this, and then I just like wouldn't do it. And I'm seeing the same pattern now with streaming. I sit here thinking, oh, I want to stream this, I want to stream this, and then I just like don't stream. I don't carve out the time to go live. So that's kind of what I want to do. That's kind of what I wanted to say today, was I want to carve out a time for me to go live. So I think going forward, I'm going to try to make my regular stream starting time be somewhere between 4 and 4:30 Central. And then, you know, from that point, we'll stream for a couple hours, whatever. And I'm not going to sit here and promise that I'm going to stream every day or even every other day, but I just want to have like a starting point of knowing at least what time I want to be live, if I'm going to be live. And for you guys, knowing, oh, it's 4:30, let's check and see if there's a JK Perfect 10 stream going. But yeah, I want to start streaming more things. I also want to start like planning less what I'm going to stream, if that makes any sense. I feel like part of what I've fallen into is thinking, oh, I have to have something to do on stream. Whereas a lot of what streaming should be is just booting up a stream and it's like, all right, what are we doing today? So I think at least having a time that I'm trying to set for myself to go live, maybe I can finally start building up that schedule, building up that regularity, and you guys knowing when the streams are going to be can also build up that regularity so more people can show up to the streams and we all just feel better about it. But anyway, enough with that. It's time to finish up this season with the White Sox. We're starting out today with another game that we're losing late. It feels like every episode for the last couple have started out this same way, where we're down a run in the late innings of a game. And I think every time I've successfully made the comeback, so let's not break that streak today. We've got Vlad up right away, and his average is dipped under 300. All right, he might be on a bit of a cold stretch here then. And man, we have a 3-hit game from Brian Ramos today in what I have to assume is his major league debut, because he's batting 1,000, so unless he had another at bat in a different game where he didn't not get a hit, this is a pretty successful debut. And we have Garrett Hampson going deep, Colin Houck's making an error, and then Kopech with 6 innings and only 2 earned. Ooh, and yeah, we want to make sure that we can put up a run this inning so we don't have to deal with that guy. Oh, and he kept that in the zone. I really thought I read that one. I thought I was going to break that a little bit more. That is a hard slurve. 87 miles per hour on a slurve. That feels like a very hard pitch. Man, and Cespedes is again. Why does it feel like Cespedes has been in the game like every time we've played a game recently? I don't think that's going to do anything. Man, that is a really tough pitch on a 3-2 count. We've worked a 3-2 count in 2 straight at-bats here, and then we walk away with nothing. Getting him to throw pitches is nice, but we got to actually get the results. Another 3-2 count. We've made him throw 18 pitches here. Okay, and we finally do something, even if it is just leaving the bat on our shoulder to get on base. But that brings up the hot bat. Actually, first, do I want to do this? Do we have speed on the bench? I feel like all our speed guys are already in the game. Yeah, I'm not going to bother. I'm going to leave Luis Robert on the bench for his off day here. I mean, I guess it's not like there's injuries to worry about in March to October, so there's really no need to give him his full off day. But let's see what we can do with Brian Ramos. My God, they're afraid of him. I guess a 3-for-3 day up to this point will do that. And yep, hand off the controller, was never going to swing, and we draw a 4-pitch walk. We still need the big swing, though. Mitch Garver is definitely somebody who can provide that big swing. Oh, wait. Okay, I don't want to speak too soon. That was hit pretty high in the air. Nope, that's going to be gone. It's going to be gone by plenty. Garver did it again. I had yet to make a single good swing this inning. All I was doing good at was sitting there and watching the pitches go by as they were out of the zone. And all it takes is one perfect swing with 2 runners on base, and we have a 2-run lead right away. We won't have to face Duran to make it come back. We do it again. Not only have I been making all these come from behind wins, but I feel like I've been doing it immediately also. I've been getting the job done in the first inning that we're in the game. This is one of the best I've felt with a March to October team. This is some of the best games I've played with a March to October team. I don't want to speak too soon, but the way I'm feeling about our team is we are well on our way to another World Series title. What's that doing? What's that doing from Montgomery? Oh, it didn't quite get over his head. That was a really nice swing. That actually probably should have done something a little more. All right, well, you know what? Schuster was already in this game. He's only thrown 6 pitches. We have that insurance run with the 2-run lead. I'm just going to leave him in. Ooh, and that, if there was a hitter with more power at the plate, that might have been some trouble. And Fletcher got a bad break on this, actually. Oh, he didn't get there. I mean, it's a good thing that was fouled, but I feel like that's a play he should make. And then we're going to give up a base hit. All right, well, you know what? I'm not going to play around then. We're going to go ahead. We're going to go to Tanner Scott. There we go. There's our punch out. 3 pitches. Oh, but Buxton's going to get that one through. Couple not all that hard hit ground balls to get them a couple hits and make me sweat a little bit here. And there we go. We sit down Correa on the foul tip, actually. Nothing to worry about. Ooh, all right. Sitting here looking at strike 3 with Colin Houck. Doesn't help out the young bat there. There we go, though. Hampson, of course, is going to get a base hit. We can't not get a hit with Hampson in a game that I'm playing with him. Fletcher, oh, I should have taken off with Hampson at some point. Now we're going to ground into the double play. So 2 runs is going to have to be what does it here. And I'm going to go to Clay Holmes for the save today because Crochet doesn't really have much energy. So got to go with a different guy this time. And Clay Holmes, I feel pretty good about using him with this season he's put together. I mean, realistically, you could make the argument he should be the closer. And yeah, just easy strike out there. Couldn't hold up on the slider. 1 pitch roll over to Ramos. He can field his position also. And another punch out's what's going to end it. All right. I swear, man, it is just so easy to pitch with Clay Holmes against the CPU. So there we go. Another 4 momentum fireballs for the come from behind win. Sometimes I forget that I came from behind since I did it right away. Didn't even end up feeling like all that high stress of a game, and we get that kind of reward out of it. In the last season, we went 103-59, so I think that was our 97th win of this season with a long ways to go. I feel like we're pretty easily gonna beat our record from last year, especially if we just keep rattling off wins like this. Oh my God, there we go. We finally lost. And all those were momentum wins too. Are we just going to go all the way to the end of the season here? Oh man, I was not anticipating this. I thought we'd have a little bit more to this episode, but I guess what can we do? So I do think this screen's a little messed up because I feel like I remember back when we finished the first half of the season, this screen never popped up for us finishing the first half, so I actually kind of missed out on some team affinity points here in season 2 in Diamond Dynasty. So yeah, we definitely weren't plus 58. We weren't only expected to win 52 games. I'm guessing we were either expected 52 wins by the end of the first half, or from the first half to the end of the season, we were expected 52 wins in that stretch. But we finished with a 110-52 record, so absolutely shattering what we did last season. season, like I just said, 103-59. We get the full 5 stars, and we presumably are the 1 seed in the AL heading into the postseason, and we gotta take on the Astros. Feels like when you're an AL team, you either run into the Astros or the Yankees in the playoffs, and last season it was the Astros versus the Yankees to see who would face us, and it ended up being the Yankees. So of course this year we get the Astros. But it was the Rangers with the 2 seed, and then the Jays ended up with the 3 seed, and they've already been bounced. You also had the Astros and the Orioles in the wild card round. Astros won. And then over in the NL wild card, it was Phillies D-backs, and Philly moved on. And it was the Reds versus the Cubs, and Cincinnati moved on. So it's not going to be a repeat World Series matchup with us and the Cubs, which would have been fun. I didn't think they were good this season. Ooh, they were not good. I've never seen this before. A team with a losing record made the playoffs. Man, this is actually crazy. I feel like we might be heading in this direction in real life too, but you got 2 90-win teams taking home the top 2 wildcard slots, and then a sub 500 team. It's kind of a shame that they wiped the regular season stats, because with only that 1 game and 2 innings of playing that game for this episode, I feel like we need something to fill the rest of it, and looking at like league leaders or something would have been perfect. But I don't want to go into like full-blown stat recap mode, but I do kind of want to maybe take a glance at a couple of players' seasons here at the end of the year. We can also see what our playoff roster is, because sometimes there's some surprises as to who the CPU decides is on the playoff roster. So actually, let's look at that first, because this was the point back in year 1 where we were finally free of Sammy Peralta. So maybe this is the point we're finally free of Davy Garcia, and I don't see him anywhere. So there we go. All it takes is being stuck with the guy for the full season, and then the CPU finally getting rid of them for the playoff roster for them to actually get taken off the 40-man. Although there is one name that's missing here, and that's that's Michael Kopech. I was not expecting him to be one that was not included in the postseason roster. I mean, I'm kind of glad Tukey's here, because he's really good. I mean, we can see what he did on the year. 3.12 ERA. Guess not quite as good as he was last season. But I'm really surprised if the game was willing to get rid of Davy Garcia, that they weren't willing to get rid of Tukey in favor of Kopech, and even Miguel Castro, who I think could have been sent down for free in favor of Kopech. We have him here. We also, though, the game by default has Eater and Schuster as what would be the game 2 and 3 starters, and I don't want that. Neither of them were really starters for, well, Schuster was never a starter, and Eater, yeah, he only started the first 16 games, then he came out of the bullpen. I'm actually kind of surprised. He only made 6 appearances out of the bullpen. But I do want to get Hendricks back in that rotation. Why didn't he get put in the rotation when I just did that? All right, but Hendricks, I want him in the rotation because he had a pretty solid year as a starter, so I want him starting, and I want to put him in that 4 spot, because usually only the top 4 pitchers in the rotation actually pitch in the postseason. But also usually the game doesn't let you just have a 4-man rotation. Even if I like did this, they usually automatically put somebody back in the rotation. But I'll just do this for now and see what happens, because I do want both Eater and Schuster coming out of the pen. That gives us a couple extra lefty options. And then when it comes to the offense, any surprises here? Well, yeah, Ryan McKenna. I don't know what was wrong with Yoelqui Cespedes for him to not stay on the big league squad, because I'm pretty sure he's the same, if not one better overall than Ryan McKenna is, but he also wasn't that great when I used him, so that's fine. Also, Ramos sticks around in favor of Colin Houck, so I'm kind of glad to see that one. Vlad Jr. is up to a 99 overall, officially. It happened. So that's going to make signing him just that much more difficult, but you can't not try to re-sign a 99 overall. What did he end up with on the season? He ended up with 43 homers, very slightly down from the year before, but his average was way up, his on-base was way up, his slugging was a little bit up. Luis Robert is a 95 overall. Not minus 10 to his power against lefties. I wouldn't have expected that, especially considering he hit 38 home runs. I guess most of them would have just come against righties, so I guess that's why his power against righties is up to a 99. This is is the type of season you want to see out of Luis Robert Jr. We know the power's been there. He's been now in one real life season and 2 seasons in the March to October, the same amount of home runs, but to see the average, the on base, and the slugging up at this point, that's fun. And again, like I said, I don't want to turn this into a full-blown stat recap. We'll save that for the end of the season. I just wanted to see our star players, and I want to see Colson Montgomery. He finishes with a plus 15 to his contact against lefties. That is crazy. That is good. 24 bombs, 33 doubles, 6 triples, 313 average, and a 6.7 wins above replacement. I don't know. Maybe they changed the way that it's presented to me, but the fact that he doesn't have an awards tab there leads me to think he somehow didn't win Rookie of the Year, and there's no way. There's no way, right, that he didn't win Rookie of the Year with these numbers. I don't know. Maybe it's just too early to see that, so I won't get too upset yet. I won't read into that yet. But I think that's where we've got to end this episode. I'm sorry, guys. I know it was short. I know we barely had any gameplay. I was really expecting more than just one more game they were gonna get me into. Like, we basically simmed the entire month of September, but there's nothing more I can do right now. Like, we're not just gonna start the postseason right now. So yeah, I guess that's it. Remember, my plan is to start streaming the Cubs March to October today. So I guess if this wasn't enough March to October for you out of me today, you'll still be getting that. But otherwise, make sure as always to leave a like for me on this one if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But thanks for watching another one today, guys. Thanks for hanging out, and I will see you next time.